What's up guys, Ramsey here back for another Red Shadow Legends video, and today we are talking about the pinpoint set. We'll quickly be talking about, do you need to be farming this set or not based on your level in the game, and which champion is it best to use it on. Let's get into it. So as you know, we do have, for the second time, it's like a mini season, we have an event dungeon with the Queen of Heart, and this is how you get your hands on the pinpoint set. So obviously, if you're an end game player and you do want to play in arena, you do want to be farming some pinpoint and have at least, 1 to 2 champions with a good pinpoint set. I'll be showing you right after which champions I have pinpoint equipped on. But even if you are an early to mid game player and you do not care about the pinpoint set in itself, you do want to be farming this dungeon. If you can get to level 20, that's great, because you start getting 5 and 6 stars instead of 4, 5, and 6 stars. So try to get to level 20 if you can. Regardless of needing what the pinpoint set brings you, the actual effect that it brings, every piece of accessory will give you extra stats. So you do get, for one piece, 20 accuracy, then 10% speed, then 20 accuracy. So if you can put a broken piece in there, or an accessory, you do want to use it regardless of getting the actual, bonus that having 4 pieces, 6 pieces, or 9 pieces does. So do keep that in mind, especially if you're early game player and it's arena for spider. Sorry, you do need some very specific champion. So if you can't farm spider yet and you're struggling to get accessories, do farm this dungeon as high as you can to get the accessories and get the extra bonus stat. Now that's out of the way. What does pinpoint do and why do we want to use it? And I'll show you which heroes it is best on. So pinpoint is going to give you intercept stack. So when you have 4 pieces, you get 1 intercept stack. When you have 6 pieces, you have 2 intercept stack. And then when you have 9 pieces, you get 4 intercept stacks. Each intercept stack block a single attempt at placing a crowd control debuff. So you can use it in a way where you enter the battle. Let's say the enemy plays before you. They try to place a debuff on you. It won't place that debuff, at least the control debuff. It will place, another debuff, but not a crowd control debuff, which is a stun, a freeze, anything that's going to stop you from playing. And instead, it will consume 1 of the stacks. That is why how you use that set. Now, it was mainly meant to counter sheep debuff. The sheep debuff is extremely annoying in arena. It's been in the game for a while now. But basically, you enter the arena, you try to place a debuff, a crowd control debuff on the enemy. And if they have the sheep blessing, instead of placing the debuff, you turn your own champions that was trying to place the debuff into a sheep. And you obviously can't play and can't place that debuff. And that is what that pinpoint set was meant to be used for in the first place, mainly to stop sheep from being placed on new champions. The sheep did kind of stop some really good heroes to be played in arena. Kimar, for example, that would remove buff and place a sleep, which is a crowd control debuff. Kind of unusable in arena now, at least until we get the pinpoint set. Kimar was one of the best champions in arena for a very long time, and it became absolutely useless since the sheep debuff came up. Same with Madame Cerise right here. She was one of the best for a very long time because she would remove buff and place decreased defense. And now she's absolutely not usable because of the sheep. And just to clarify, if you try to place a debuff on the enemy and he has the sheep blessing, regardless of the type of debuff, you have a chance to be turned into a sheep. It doesn't have to be a crowd control debuff to be turned into a sheep. Now the stack from the pinpoint set, that needs to be a crowd control debuff, which the sheep is one of them. So if you try to place a decreased defense with Madame Cerise, you can turn into a sheep. If you had the pinpoint set, you would not be turning into a ship because it is considered a crowd control debuff. So let me show you some of the heroes that I have in pinpoint set. My goal, because I'm a low spender in the game, so I don't have thousands and I don't play arena much, but I don't have thousands and thousands of energy to burn into that dungeon, and I'm saving for the next fusion, which will be the Valentine's Day fusion. So you do have to be careful and farm it. You got to be smart on when you farm it. Try to farm it when the dungeons farm tournaments are live. My goal is only to have 3 heroes extremely well geared in pinpoint set. So you do need to have some luck for the accessories. Why 3? Because that way I can have 3 options for debuffers in 3 versus 3 arena. Gives me a good amount of options for live arena if I ever want to play it. I rarely play it, but just in case. And then for siege, you try to help my clan. It's usually 3 defense team, 2 to 3 attacks that we can do. So it's just to have options. I just want 3 really well debuff champion geared in pinpoint set. As of now, I have 2, and I will be soon working on a 3rd one. I have been farming a little bit these seasons, but I haven't looked at anything I got. I don't have much yet, but one of the first champion in pinpoint for me is Nishak. So he does places bomb, and that is why now the bomb are kind of back in the meta, because the bombs do go through stone skin. And because of the pinpoint, we don't get turned into a ship anymore. So really good for someone like a bomber. I do have him in 4 pieces. I do think that, I do have him in 6 pieces, which give him 2 intercept stacks. I do think that 4 pieces is enough on him, because as long as you place the bombs, then if he gets to, and then you do want to do this attack here, but if you place the bomb and then get turned into a sheep here, I think that's okay. But you do want at least 4 pieces so that you can place those bombs. Ideally 6 just to be safe. The stats are not crazy on him, but I'm still working on him. I haven't touched his stats since the new season, so I do need to look at what pinpoint I have. But fair amount of speed, fair amount of attack, and fair amount of accuracy could be a lot better. I will be adjusting him soon. The other champion that I have in pinpoint is Gergo. Gergo is going to be removing all the buff from enemies and place a freeze, then get an extra turn, and he can come in here and place the decreased defense. For someone like that, I do want 2 stacks, so 6 pieces. So I do need to add 2 pieces of pinpoint on him for sure. I will be working on that soon. Again, at the end of this season, I will be looking at all of my pinpoint, level it up, and re-gear those 2 heroes. I don't know about the 3rd one yet. I do want a 3rd champion in pinpoint set. But right now, I don't know who to put it on that I really use. I do like Armands in some pinpoint. I do have 2 pieces on him, so I do need 2 more. If I could put 2 more on him and keep him in the supersonic and whatnot, that would be great. So we'll see. We'll see who we added on, but it would be a really good arena champion that can place debuff. So obviously on Armands, it would be good. And then which champion is it good on? So the one I just showed you, and then champions like Kimar. Kimar was a really good, Prince Kimar was a really good arena champion for a very long time, one of the best. Now he is used in some instances with a high resist build to counter Warlord and New Mako, for example, who are going to be increasing the cooldown of your abilities. And if he has high resist, he can save this ability and basically counter the increased cooldown. So that's what he's used for in some cases now. But if you have a good pinpoint set, just 4 pieces on him to have 1 stack of intercept, that would be a great way to use him. Attack on enemies, remove all buff, which means you have also 50% chance of removing stone skin, and you can place a sleep on all enemy for 2 turns. So Kimar on a pinpoint set, it would be extremely good nowadays. So now you can also weak hit, of course, because he's magic affinity, but someone like that, pinpoint would be amazing. And then we mentioned her as well, but someone like Madame Cerise would be great. Madame Cerise, if you know not as end game, you can definitely use her. I do like to use debuffers that will control the enemy instead right now, but that's still a very good champion to use, where you can remove all the buff and play the decreased defense. If you have her in pinpoint, I would do, you know, ideally 6 pieces on her. So you have 4 stacks of intercept, 2 stacks of intercept, sorry. But pinpoint set would be amazing on her and make her valuable again. So then you also have, just to show you one more example, I have a very different build on my Tormin. I have him in Stone Skin and Lethal, but you could put your Tormin, if you use him in a pinpoint set as well, at least give him 4 pieces, would be great for him as well, just to make sure he doesn't get shipped, because obviously if he places the freeze, he could get shipped pretty easily. So here we go, guys. Answer to should you farm this dungeon or not is yes, regardless of your level. And just to give you a few examples of which champions you want to use him, use the pinpoint set on basically anyone that you're going to be using in arena, and that is going to be placing debuff to control the sheep. There you go, guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.